if you don't want anyone to recognize you. And although your names don't appear on the recording. And let me just start by sharing my screen with you all. Let me just find the right button. There we go. And let's just adjust that. Great. And we're going to be looking at defense, and in particular looking at active or passive defense. And we're going to start with a few slides on this topic. And defense is, of course, such an important part of playing bridge, and knowing when to play passively or actively is a key consideration. What we mean is that in many situations, a passive defense is a defense that's least likely to help declare or make any extra tricks. So that's often chosen when the opponents have bid weakly and ended up either in a part score or in game. And in those situations, a trump lead or a suit with no honors can be a suitable passive lead, whereas leading from a suit that contains one or more honors is often a more attacking lead. Can be successful, but it can help declare or make extra tricks. So if you decided to play passively, you would normally try to avoid leading away from your honors, and try to avoid leading into any honors in dummy. If you see dummy later on, you would normally try to avoid leading into any honors that are there. And a passive defense is more often chosen against a suit contract than against a no trump contract. So for example, if you've got a holding like ace, queen, 10, XX, if you were on lead against a suit contract, that would be quite a risky lead. It could easily help declare or make one or more tricks, and you may not get many tricks back. But if you had that 5 card holding against no trump, that would be more attractive. So in other words, leading from ace, queen, 10, XX is not a passive lead, it's an attacking lead. And those attacking leads are more often chosen against no trump than against suit contracts. And passive leads are also more likely to be a good choice in duplicate pairs. So a game like the one we're going to be playing at 2 o'clock, as you do not want to give away and declare any over tricks. So though that's something about passive defense, what about active defense? Well, an active or an attacking defense, you can often make that, might choose to make that, where the bidding suggests that declare and dummy are quite strong. Perhaps the bidding suggests there's a long, strong suit in dummy where declarer may be able to make a lot of tricks. And even if you don't know that from the bidding, once you see dummy, if you see a long, strong suit in dummy, that often is a time for you to switch to an attacking or active defense, where you need to take your tricks in any other suit or they will all disappear. Declarer's got bags of tricks, maybe, and you need to take your tricks before they disappear. So an attacking defense, as I was saying, is more often chosen against no trump. That, with ace, queen, 10, XX, you might well lead your 4th highest against a no trump. And it's also more likely to be a good form of scoring in other forms of scoring where over tricks don't matter so much. So if you play rubber bridge, or if you score as a Chicago or as a teams event, then over tricks don't matter so much. And if you give away one trick, it won't make a big difference. In a pairs event like the one today, giving away an extra trick could mean the difference between an average score and a very poor score for you. So those are the differences. Sometimes it's not possible to tell what is appropriate. And you should remember that leads like the king from king, queen, jack, or the queen from queen, jack, 10 are attractive in nearly all situations because they are both attacking, but they are safe in the sense they are unlikely to give declarer any extra tricks. while at the same time helping you to set up tricks in that suit. So these sequence leads are something you should really consider anytime you have something like that. It's often a very attractive lead. It's not risky, and it may set up tricks for your side. Here are some examples of what I'm calling weak bidding sequences. These are bidding sequences where it seems the opponents don't have a great deal of strength. So perhaps 1 no trump, 2 no trump, pass. They obviously only just have enough points to invite game there and not to accept. Even 1 no trump, 2 no trump, 3 no trump could be a fairly weak bidding sequence, or other bidding sequences that stop short of inviting game, like 1 club, 1 heart, 1 no trump. That might be a fairly weak bidding sequence that would call for a passive lead, one where you'd only give away tricks to declarer. And other bidding sequences are normally fairly weak, perhaps something like 1 heart, 2 hearts, or 1 heart, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, or even 1 heart, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, 4 hearts. Always not, the other thing, of course, you need to think about when you're deciding what to lead is looking at your own hand as well. So it's not just the bidding sequence, it's sort of looking at your hand and trying to work out whether you need to play passively or actively. But a strong bidding sequence would be something like this, like 1 spade, 2 clubs, which should show 10 or more points, 3 spades showing something like 16 plus points, 4 spades. That would be a strong bidding sequence where you might decide to make a more attacking lead, or perhaps 1 club, 2 hearts, a jump shift should be like 16 plus points, 3 hearts, 4 hearts. Again, that might be a fairly strong bidding sequence, and you might want to make a more attacking lead in that situation. In both of those, you would expect the opponents to have, something like 28 points between them. So they probably have a lot of tricks available if they get a chance. But there are very many bidding sequences where you don't know whether it's a weak or a strong sequence, like 1 no trump, 3 no trump, 2 hearts, 4 hearts, or those sequences on the right leading to 4 spades. So you're in the dark really, and you would just be judged by your hand in many situations. So let's look at some examples of this, and let's start with this one, which is one I sent out at the weekend in the quiz. And you're on lead here as West, and the bidding has gone 1 heart, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, 4 hearts. So this is a holding. This is rather a bidding sequence where they've bid without showing any great strength. They've just got enough to go to 4 hearts here. And your goal should be to not give away any extra tricks. So try to play fairly passively here. You're hoping to make a trick with your 2 aces and the king of clubs, and you're hoping your partner can contribute something. But probably the best lead here, especially as you have 3 of them, is to lead a trump. That's a safe lead, and it's a lead that you hope won't give declarer any extra trick. So my choice here would be a trump. So we lead a trump, and down comes dummy, and we can see dummy's got 9 points, so they accepted the invitation. And declarer wins the first trick. Declarer plays another heart, and he draws the last trump. Okay. And now let's suppose he leads a club and plays the queen. So it looks like he was finessing here. And you decide to win that one with the king. So that's the first trick you've got. And now you have to decide what to lead again. You don't really, you don't have any trumps to lead now. So you're going to have to lead a spade, a diamond, or a club. And I'll just click here on the GIB button, and it's a little slow today, and it's actually showing you that the best lead at this point for the defense is either a club or the ace of diamonds. That will, both of those could defeat the contract by 2 tricks. Whereas if you lead any spade, it's saying the computer computer saying that declarer could make 4 hearts. And I think looking at dummy, I hope you can see that the ace of diamonds looks like a very safe lead, because you're going to take one of the honors from dummy, and you're not giving declarer anything they can't get for themselves. Now, again, you may well decide to lead another diamond, because that's not giving away anything to declarer. So declarer's back in. They lead a club over to their ace, and they lead the 2 of spades. And this is the second moment you should have been preparing for while the whole hand. When they lead a low spade towards the king in dummy, you need to play second hand low. It's quite likely that declarer's got a lot of the missing points, like the queen of spades. And if you go up with your ace, you may well be helping. So I'm going to play low here. Declarer plays the king, leads a spade back to the queen, and I'm using my ace to beat declarer's honors there. Now what? Well, now I've got to lead a spade, a diamond, or a club. The one thing I think I will not lead is a diamond, just in case the situation is something like this. And you can see that declarer's got no diamonds left in their hands. And if you were to lead a diamond, you would be giving declarer a chance to rough in one hand while they discard from the other. So the best defense here turns out to be a club or a spade. And if you decide on a spade, your partner can win that. Your partner can lead back a club and win that one. And now, whatever happens, declarer's just got trump left and will take the last 2 tricks. But you will hold declarer to 8 tricks if you defend that way. So when this hand was played, a lot of declarers made 10 tricks here. And you should be able, with precise defense, not giving away any extra tricks, hold declarer to just 8 tricks. Let's have a look at this one. And here it's again gone 1 spade, 2 spades pass, and you're on lead. And again, if we look at what you might consider leading, nothing looks that great. You've got some strength in all the suits, and leading, for example, a club or a heart is very likely to help declarer set up tricks in that suit. They've got the queen there, that may well help them make a trick there. Leading a trump here is not a good option either, because you've got queen 10, the queen 8-7. So it may well be that you make a trick with your queen, but if you lead a spade, that's unlikely to make a trick anymore. So probably of those options, I'm going to lead a diamond. I'll lead the 2 of diamonds as one that's perhaps least likely to help declarer. And down comes dummy, and you can see dummy's got 8 points. And I want to switch to east now. So your partner's led the 2 of diamonds. A low diamond is played from dummy. And you should realize that when your partner leads the 2, unless that happens to be a singleton, which is unlikely, it probably means that they're leading away from an honor. And they could well have the queen in their hand. And so you should not play your ace here. You should play the 10. And you're trying to prevent the king from making a trick there. And the 10 wins the trick. So that's great. And what we have to do now is figure out what to play at trick 2. And that's actually the subject of the first poll of the afternoon. You've just won the 10 of diamonds as east. What are you going to play? Which suit are you going to play at trick 2? Let's have a look at the results. And the majority here, or 47%, have gone for a heart, with smaller numbers going for clubs, diamonds, or spades. And if we switch back to the hand, I think I agree with you. Um, First of all, I don't think you should lead a diamond here because you'll be allowing the king of diamonds to make a trick. So that's a poor choice. And leading a spade or a club, although it could work out, I suppose, in either case, you're leading into the honors in dummy. So a much better lead is when there's a weak suit in dummy to switch to that suit. And you should lead a heart here, yes. You lead a high heart, either the 8 or the 9, and that indicates you don't have any high cards, you don't have any interest in the suit. So you lead the 8, your partner plays the 10, and they lead a diamond back. So if a low diamond is played from dummy, you beat that one with your jack, and you can lead another heart. And what you're doing is you're trapping any honors that are in the south hand. Here, west, your partner wins a king, and they can play another diamond. You take your ace, but declare a ruffs. Okay, so now declarer, I think, switches to trump. And if we look at the four hands, let's bring up the four hands at this point. You can see that east-west, you've defended very well so far. But when south leads the jack of spades, west, you have a decision about what to play. Now, very often it's right to cover an honor with an honor, but on this occasion, when you've got queen XX, you know that your partner has got perhaps only one or two spades, and declarer might be playing this way in order to tempt you to cover. As it is, declarer might just cash the ace and king, or he might try the finesse the other way. But of course, if you play your queen, or if you hesitate a long time and then play low, he may guess that you have the queen. So the best thing is to play low smoothly. He may let that go, or he may overtake with the king and might try the finesse the other way. So if that succeeds, if that loses to your queen, now you've done very well. You've just taken another trick. And what you're going to play now? Well, again, I think a very safe return now is another trump, because it draws two trumps and it doesn't help declarer make any extra trick. So you draw that last trump, and declarer now cashes their ace of hearts and leads the 10 of clubs. And you as east-west have already made 5 tricks now. And when they lead the 10, I hope you're all going to play your king. You should realize you're not going to make many more tricks here. And that lead of the 10 gives you a chance to make the king. So don't make the mistake of playing the jack or playing low. Take that last trick, playing more actively, if you like, at this stage. And then whatever happens, declarer will make the last tricks. But you will hold declarer with your very good play to 7 tricks on this hand. When this hand was played, most declarers made 8 or 9 tricks in spades here. But again, playing passively, not giving away anything to declarer is probably the best strategy here. I hope you can see that leading a heart or a club initially could easily help declarer make tricks in those suits, and much better to lead a diamond, and then you and your partner have to cooperate to give away as few tricks as possible. Let's try this one. Do interrupt me if you have any questions on these. Here it went 1 heart, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, all passed out. And your partner leads the queen of diamonds. And that looks like a good lead. They've got presumably the queen and the jack. And you can see you're going to make a couple of diamond tricks here. So let's suppose we start by signaling 7, high to encourage, and they play another diamond, and we take that one with the king. So you've just won 2 tricks. And again, you've got to decide what are you going to play at trick 3. So have a look at your hand, have a look at dummy, and see if you can decide which suit you should play at trick 3. Have a look at the results. And the majority, 67%, have gone for a spade, with a smaller number going for a heart, a diamond, or a club. And yes, I agree with you. What you have to do on this hand, as in many cases in the defense, is think about where you and your partner may be able to make tricks from. And what I can see in particular is that long club suit in dummy, which will be a source of tricks for declarer. Even if they don't have the queen in their own hand, your partner has the queen in that case, and they'll be able to finesse against it and make all those club tricks. Your partner may have a high trump, I suppose, in which case they're going to make a trick with it at some point, if they've got the king, for example. But otherwise, the only other suit where you can make any tricks is in spades, yes. And you'd better lead that now, or otherwise you may not get them. Declarer may be able to discard any losing spades once they've been able to play the club. So yes, you should lead a spade, lead your normal spade here, and your partner has the ace and will lead a spade back, and you can take the first 4 tricks now. Now, I'll just bring up the 4 hands at this point, and you can see whatever you play now, if you play another spade, declarer can win that one. And now declarer will just draw trumps and can cash the clubs. Okay, so played that way, declarer makes 9 tricks there. You take 2 diamonds and 2 spades. If you don't find that defense, then you can see declarer will make over tricks, because they'll be able to make 5 hearts and 5 clubs. They'll make at least 10 tricks. But it's a time once you see that the clue is that long suit in dummy, the ace, king, jack, 10, 2, as the particular sign that you need to try to take any tricks, and you switch to a more active defense there to take any tricks that are coming your way. Let's have a look at this one where North opened a heart, you overcalled 2 clubs, North bid 2 spades, and South raised to 4 spades. And this time your partner opens with the 9 of clubs. So obviously they've led your suit, which is nice. And you hope you're going to make 2 club tricks here. And you need to think about where else you might make any tricks here, and you need to look at dummy. So let's suppose you overtake this first one with the 10. You don't need to play the ace or king, because you can see the queen in dummy, and you play back the ace of clubs. Everyone follows to that. Okay, so that's you can see now that there are no more clubs in dummy, so you might think about leading another club, although North has got some reasonable trumps there, so if your partner were to ruff, it would be over ruffed. So the problem for you here is, what are you going to play at trick 3? You've just won the ace of clubs, and the question for you is, what are you going to play at trick 3? Let's have a look. And most of you have gone for a spade here, 67%, with smaller numbers going for the other suits. And let's stop to think about this. Well, the problem on this hand is that heart suit in dummy, which is likely to be a source of tricks for declarer. So we're not going to make any more clubs, I think, because if we lead a club, even if your partner can ruff, it can be over ruffed in dummy. And the spade lead is a sort of very passive lead that doesn't really help you make any more tricks. The suit I'm going to suggest to you that you should consider leading is diamonds. And the diamond I'm going to suggest you lead is the king of diamonds. Now, normally that would be like a terrible lead. But consider this. If declarer has the ace of diamonds, your king of diamonds is probably not going to make a trick anyway. Your only real hope to make any tricks here is going to be in diamonds if your partner has the ace of diamonds. If they don't, then if declarer has that card, then they're probably going to make all the remaining tricks unless your partner has a trump trick, let's say. So yes, it's a strange lead, but the correct lead, I think, here is to be very aggressive and to lead the king of diamonds. If declarer has the ace, that's it, you couldn't make any more, but it's probably your only realistic chance to make some tricks. And what you're hoping for is that your partner does have the ace. So when you lead the king of diamonds, let's just bring up the four hands. They will give an encouraging signal. You will lead a diamond back, and you may even be able to get a ruff of a diamond, which would take the first 5 tricks. After that, whatever you play, even if your partner roughs the club there, declarer can over-ruff, draw trumps, and claim the rest. But played that way, you can actually defeat that and make hold declarer to 8 tricks. If if that hadn't worked, you can see based on the holding in dummy that there are that good heart suit there, likely to make 5 tricks plus another 5 tricks in spades, and your declarer would make at least 10 tricks unless you happen to find the right switch, which is to a diamond. But it's really the only hope to make any other tricks there, although I do appreciate it looks risky. Normally you wouldn't lead from that holding there, but because of that long, strong heart suit, it's a time to switch to an attacking lead. And finally, let's have a look at this hand here. And this is one where South opened a weak no trump, 12 to 14 points. You're West and you got 18 points. So you doubled, which is a penalty double, and that's passed out. And these kinds of situations, defending one no trump doubled, your defense will depend on the kind of hand you have. If you had a long suit, you would obviously lead your top of your nice sequence and hope to defeat the contract. But this is not the case here. And so you'll make your normal lead, let's say, of the 4 of spades. And down comes dummy. And it's well worth thinking about what dummy's got. You can tell that dummy's got 7 points. South has on average 13 points. So they've got about 20 points between them, 19 to 21. You've got 18 points. So you know your partner is very weak. They've got something between 1 and 3 points, probably, or almost certainly. So they don't have much for you. And let's suppose your 4 of spades goes to the 3. Your partner plays the 8, and declarer wins the queen. And I've got the next poll for you here, which is who has the jack of spades? Who has the jack of spades here? Is it East? Is it South? Or can't you tell? Okay, let's have a look at the results. And it's a very even result between South and East, with 2 people saying can't tell. Well, if you lead the 4 of spades and your partner has the jack and the 8 and maybe another card, they should play the jack. When they play the 8, it's saying that is their highest card, or they may have the 9, for example, as well, but they do not have an honor there. They do not have the jack. If they had the jack and they didn't play it, they have made a bad mistake. So South here has played the queen. They've got the queen and the jack. They decided to play the queen. But you should have a mental note in your head that South has got the jack of spades. All right? let's see what happens next. They lead a heart. Let's suppose you play a low heart and they win that one with a 9. They play another heart back to the king and you win that one with the ace. And I've got the last poll of the afternoon here, which is, what are you going to play now? You've just won the ace of hearts, and I'm going to suggest to you that what you need to do on this hand is not give away tricks to declare that they couldn't make themselves. Okay, so try not to lead anything that will help declare. You know, most of the points are in the south hand, and you've got lots of points. So you should be avoiding leading things that will help declare and make tricks that they couldn't make otherwise. So here comes that poll, and the question is, what are you going to play now? Which suit are you going to play now? Let's have a look at the results. And again, we've got a very divided result between diamonds, hearts, and spades, or a club. So let's switch back and see what we can think. Well, we led spades initially, but based on the play to the first trick, I now believe that South has got the jack of spades. So I'm very tempted not to lead another spade here. It may well declare a trick with the jack, and they've still got the ace to take. And I don't really want to lead either of the minor suits either. Declarer almost certainly has got the kings of those, both of those, and I'll do much better if Declarer is forced to lead those suits themselves. So yes, the suit I'm going to recommend you lead here is a heart. You're not giving away anything to Declarer. Declarer can always make the queen and jack of hearts, and you are just playing passively here, letting them win their tricks and making them lead suits that may help you. So yes, I agree with those of you who said lead a heart. I think that's a good play. And if they play another heart, now we've got to discard. So this is a slightly tricky one. We don't really want to discard anything here, but let's suppose we decide to discard a club. And now they switch to a diamond. And I just want to bring up the 4 hands at this point. When the diamond is played here, East, you may think there's nothing for you to do because you've got such a lousy hand. But it actually works out a lot better if you play one of your honors here, the jack or the 10. The problem with playing a low card is that Declarer can then play low, and although your partner can win with the 9, they then have to lead away from their honors. And it's much better if you give yourself a chance to win the trick with the jack. Here, Declarer will probably play low, and your partner will win the jack. And then your partner should think about the play at trick 1 and should switch back to a spade. Lead the 9, and you can that will actually force out the ace. And then if they lead a club, again, that will allow you to win the jack. Now you should play off your spades, and you prevent the jack from making a trick. You take a trick with the 10, and you're going to make 2 more tricks here. You've got 2 aces. In the end, you cannot help but give Declarer a trick with a diamond. You can't do anything about that, but you can cash your 2 clubs, and in the end, they make a diamond. But good defense there holds Declarer to 6 tricks. So this was an example, and 1-no-trump double contracts are often like that involve very passive leads. Okay, we'll end the talk there. I can see it's 5 to 1. So